Storm Tracker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we had a beautiful day today. Temperatures back into the 50s, 51 degrees in Mason, 49 in Lansing, 52 degrees in Charlotte. It felt a lot like spring compared to almost the start of winter. As we can see, our temperatures are still into the 40s, 47 degrees in Mason and Lansing, 46 in Charlotte, and 46 in Jackson. We're going to continue to see just some cloudy skies for tonight, and those temperatures are going to settle back down into the 40s to upper 30s with mostly cloudy skies. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 5:30. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. We get the clock rolling on our first 6 minutes of news with the home of a University of Michigan regent vandalized with pro-Palestine messages. Jordan Acker says he woke up to the sound of breaking glass and found a broken window. He says he went outside to find one of his family's vehicles tagged with the words "Divest and Free Palestine." Acker, who is Jewish, calls these acts anti-Semitic. This is the third time this year that Jordan Acker has been on the receiving end of these messages. In May, he said pro-Palestinian protesters came to his home with a list of demands. In June, his law office was vandalized. In a statement, Acker says he and his family will not live in fear. One person was found dead inside an apartment in Kalamazoo after firefighters put out the flames at the complex. This happened last night. Police have not released the person's name yet. Officials say they are still investigating the cause of the fire and exactly how that person died. A woman is in jail tonight, but several others are still on the run, accused of stealing a handful of vehicles from car dealerships in Kent County, leading to a chase through multiple counties. The owner of one dealership told police he saw the suspects arrive and steal the vehicles on a live surveillance camera. Deputies got there as the suspects were leaving and followed them into Ionia County, where they recovered 2 stolen vehicles. A third one was found in Livingston County. Staying on the roads, police arrested a 16-year-old for carjacking. This happened in Florida on Friday. Police say he walked up to a woman and demanded her car keys. Officers followed the teenager to Southwest Florida International Airport. They say along the way, the teen hit several vehicles while trying to escape. Once at the airport, the boy ran onto the tarmac, but police followed and caught him soon after. Well, this video here is the aftermath of a crash during a Christmas parade. Officials say a police officer in Palm Springs, California, was performing a motorcycle stunt on Saturday and drove into the crowd, injuring at least 10 people. Officials described all of the injuries as non-life-threatening. The police chief says he's ultimately responsible for his officer's actions and will report back after an investigation is done. A woman who is currently suing music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of raping her when she was 13, has amended the lawsuit to include rapper and mogul Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. She says she was at a party in the year 2000 when the 2 men and another unidentified person sexually assaulted her. Jay-Z responded to the accusations in a statement today. In that statement, he says the accusations are an attempt to extort him out of money by the woman's attorney, Tony Busby. Jay-Z says, quote, "What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle," end quote. The music producer went on to say that is not going to happen. In this update today, a jury found Daniel Penny not guilty of criminally negligent homicide. He was charged with the crime for putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold on a subway car last year, after which Neely died. Penny, who is a Marine veteran, maintained that he was trying to protect other passengers from the homeless man. But witnesses, some of them, say Neely was not threatening anyone.
Coming to the system, asking the system to let us know that our lives have value. Jordan Neely was choked to death by someone who didn't care. People was telling him to stop.
Penny was also charged with involuntary manslaughter, but that charge was dropped when the jury reported that it could not reach a decision. A company in Morocco is claiming to be the first in Africa to make tests for the Mpox virus. The disease is spreading in Africa, mostly in the eastern part of the continent. The World Health Organization declared it a global emergency back in August, but the WHO has been criticized for moving too slowly on vaccines and testing, so the Moroccan company began developing them. Testing allows health authorities to trace contacts and identify people who might have unknowingly been exposed. Well, back here in Michigan now, the Syrian American community in Dearborn celebrated on Sunday after hearing the news that Bashar al-Assad's government had fallen. More than 1,000 people gathered at the Henry Ford Centennial Library and celebrated with chants, prayers, and dancing. Many of those celebrating on Sunday had not visited Syria or contacted their families in decades out of fear of the now fallen regime. Staying in Michigan, state police and child and family charities were joined by volunteers and pilots doing their best Santa Claus impressions, bringing toys to children by air. On Saturday, they came together across eastern Michigan to fly gifts to children in foster care. It's called Operation Good Cheer. More than 20,000 presents were delivered to about 6,700 kids throughout Michigan. And these pictures and video released by the MSP show a gift run between Canton and Owasso. In Washington, D.C. over the weekend, President Joe Biden presided over his final Kennedy Center Honors event. The award honors those in the arts who have contributed to American culture. This year's honorees include Francis Ford Coppola, The Grateful Dead, Bonnie Raitt, Arturo Sandoval, and for the first time, an institution, the Apollo Theater.
Places in America capture the essence of freedom more than the Apollo Theater. You know, you walk through those doors on 125th Street in Harlem, New York, you walk into American history.
Sunday night's performances and presentations will air on CBS on December 22nd. And
4-8, I got hurt 4-8, 4-9, it wouldn't have mattered. Give me $5 million. $7 million, $9 million, well, 12, that's an even dozen,
And finishing up our first 6 minutes of news, Heritage Auctions just set a record for Hollywood memorabilia with the sale of a pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. The screen-worn pair sold for $33 million in Dallas on Saturday. One of 4 surviving pairs worn by Garland, the slippers that sold on Saturday, they were stolen originally from the Judy Garland Museum in Minnesota in 2005 before FBI investigators recovered them in 2018. Wow.
Just got to $33 million for a pair of shoes. That's so expensive.
I know, and the timing is great with the new Wicked movie that's
Honestly,
out. So
it's really nice to see that they're finally going to a nice home, but you might want to be, it's going to give you chills seeing our forecast coming up next, as we're going to see some very cold air returning to the forecast.
All right, your full forecast with Kelsey right after the break.